Hey, it's Captain Roger. Let's go for a walk. You know what really bugs me? Stories about pastors who fail to live up to their responsibilities. These are stories that are usually about how the pastor who had violently condemned some kind of action throughout their ministry is caught participating in, well, exactly that, whatever that might be. Infidelity, skimming cash from donations, or some other failure to maintain the integrity that they're supposed to be demonstrating in their lives. Well, there certainly can be forgiveness for mistakes when someone in this kind of authority intentionally does something wrong, as if it's not going to matter. That's a problem. It's not a new problem either. Since the very beginning, some people who claim to walk with God have said one thing with their words and done another with their actions. In the book of Leviticus, which is mostly a book full of instructions that people were supposed to follow when they came to worship God, there's a story that takes place during the ordination ceremony of two of the brand new priests whose job it was to show the people of Israel how to worship the Lord. So you get that? These guys had the instructions about what was right, and it was their job to teach those instructions to the people. But what happened instead was they chose to add something entirely their own. Like they thought God wouldn't notice or care. Like these two were somehow trying to replace God's instructions with their own. See, they were supposed to use a fire that God lit for them to burn some incense. But instead, they brought their own. Now, they were supposed to be showing people how to walk with God, but instead, they chose to show how to do things their way. I don't know, maybe they thought their way was better than God's way. It wasn't. It never is. We all have this urge to walk our own way that we need to contain. I mean, I've talked before about how when I was a kid, my family spent a lot of time camping at national parks. We would go on these visitor center walks where the ranger would lead a group around and talk about special features or history of an area. And I always loved these because, well, frankly, I have always been the guy who needs to just know everything about everything. But sometimes I would get it in my head that I knew better than the ranger. And I'd run off up ahead, or I'd go down a side trail, or go to the wrong spot. And ultimately, I would end up missing something because I didn't walk with my guide. And my life was poorer for it. In some cases, I might even missed warnings so that could have kept me out of danger. I was just so sure that I knew better, which I didn't. These two guys were sure that they could bring unholy fire into God's holy place and use it for worship. Well, they couldn't. And the result was they died. Now, hopefully our poor choices are less fatal. But the point is, when we walk with God, we are models to others of how to live a better life. If we try to slip our own steps in, we're not just hurting ourselves, we're hurting everyone else too. And that is not okay. We need to walk in truth and in light to get where we're going. In fact, to get where I'm going, I need to finish this walk. I'll see you tomorrow. Grace and peace to you all.